He takes a deep breath, and in the next heartbeat, he spins around, shoving his girlfriend off a 100-meter cliff. She barely has time to gasp before a jagged wooden stake pierces straight through her body. Convinced she's beyond saving, he rushes home, feeding a roaring fire with every trace of her belongings. In his mind, the evidence is gone, the crime erased, the law outsmarted. But fate had other plans. At the bottom of the cliff, a few drops of her blood fall onto a colony of ants. Drawn by the scent, they swarm, crawling over her broken body, sinking their jaws into her wounds without mercy. The pain ignites something deep within her. Adrenaline surges, and against all odds, she begins to breathe again. Her stomach hides the true extent of the damage, but blood still pours from her lips, a haunting reminder that death isn't done with her yet. The woman knew she was running out of time. Every second that passed was another step toward death. Her eyes darted around, searching. There had to be a way out, a chance, anything. But all she saw were mountains on every side, and herself impaled by a jagged tree branch, pinned deep inside a pit. No tools, no rope, no hope. For a moment, she almost surrendered. Almost. Then, through the blur of pain and blood, a flicker of red by her eye. A lighter. Her heart thumped. That tiny spark could mean life. Gritting her teeth, she reached. Agony ripped through her abdomen, but she forced her arm farther, farther. Hooking her earphones around the lighter, she dragged it closer, hand trembling. No time to rest, no room for hesitation. She gathered brittle grass beneath the branch skewering her, flicked the lighter, and fire roared to life. The heat was unbearable, burning her wound until her vision swam. But in that pain, she felt her will to survive grow even stronger. 30 agonizing minutes passed. Still, she held on. The flames chewed at the branch until it wavered, cracked, ready to break. Her pulse surged. This was it. One final struggle or death. He clenched his jaw, summoning the last of his strength. After a brush with death, the woman finally let out a breath of relief. But then, a sudden roar of an engine cut through the air, growing louder, racing toward them. The 3 predators were coming back. They didn't want to risk loose ends. They were here to erase all evidence. No time to rest. The woman, bleeding and broken, dragged herself forward, clawing her way deeper in. Just in time, before the killers could spot her, she slipped into the blind spot beneath the cliff. The sight stopped them cold. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Someone had survived that nightmare. It defied all reason. One of them, trembling, muttered about calling the police. The leader, glaring at his cowardly companion, gripped his throat. Alive or dead, we find her. He jumped into the car, and they sped off. Hearing their voices, the woman ignored the fire in her body and forced herself to move, away from danger. By the time they reached the spot, only a pool of blood remained. They knew she was badly hurt. She couldn't have gone far. Following the trail of crimson drops, they tracked her to the river's edge. And there, the blood vanished. Convinced she was hiding nearby, they split up, a choice they would regret for the rest of their lives. Meanwhile, the woman stumbled upon a hidden cave. She lit a fire, picked up a tin can, cut it open, tearing a sheet of metal free, and set it aside. She lifted her shirt, and with a lighter, sterilized the tip of her knife. Her eyes cold and resolute. She would live. She would make them pay. Then, she flipped the blade, aimed it at her abdomen, and carved into her own flesh. Through gritted teeth, she widened the wound, until a cross-shaped cut split the skin. Reaching in, she yanked out the branch lodged inside her body. Blood erupted, gushing like a burst dam. Panic flared. She would bleed out. Grabbing the sheet of metal, she heated it in the flames until it glowed red, and pressed it to her wound. The smell of burning flesh filled the air. Pain so intense, it took her into merciful darkness. When she woke the next day, the bleeding had stopped. Her body, but her will, unbroken. She took her knife, her sniper rifle, and stepped out of the cave. It was time for revenge. Her first target, a lone man, distracted. She crept in, silent as a shadow, and struck without hesitation. One down. From the high ground, she lifted her scope and found her second prey. At this moment, a man was racing toward her in a speeding car. When she realized he was alone, she used the rugged terrain to her advantage, quietly tailing him from behind. The moment he stepped out to investigate, she, hidden behind a rock, slid a bullet into the chamber, raised her sniper rifle, and aimed straight at his head. But as she pulled the trigger, the recoil slammed back with brutal force, knocking her aim downward. The bullet tore into the man's shoulder. The powerful kick threw her to the ground. By the time she scrambled back up, he was gone. Thinking he had hidden inside his car, she approached, rifle ready. Then, on the ground, a fresh trail of blood. He had run. She followed, step after step, until suddenly the trail vanished. A flicker of panic rushed through her, not knowing that at that very moment, he was right behind her. By the time she realized, it was already too late. The bullet grazed her ear, but she fought through the pain. He chased her relentlessly, firing again and again. His aim, terrible, not a single shot hit. She smashed a glass bottle. He stepped right onto the shards, the razor edges cutting deep into his feet. The pain, white hot, tearing, dropped him to the ground, writhing. In an instant, he lost the will to fight. Desperate, he limped back to his car, planning to run her down, but she was already waiting, sniper rifle steady, breathing slow. The loss of his friends had broken him. Fear consumed him. He fled, back to his villa, thinking he could hide. But what he didn't know was that she had been waiting there all along.
Thanks.